Hello and welcome to today's lesson where we're going to look at the surface area of spheres. Now spheres are pretty easy. The formula actually looks like this. The area is 4 times pi times the radius squared. So the only thing you really need to know is the radius. Then you can figure out all kinds of stuff with regards to spheres. Now I'm going to do an example that's a little more complicated though, because what we have here is not a sphere but a hemisphere. So let's have a little look what we would do if we were going to try to figure out the surface area of this hemisphere or half of a sphere. So let's say somebody comes along and they tell us, oh, we know that the radius is 40 centimeters. Could you find the total surface area? Okay, now this one you have to be a little bit careful, a little bit tricky, because we're talking it's the total. So here's what my formula is going to look like. I would take the formula for a complete sphere, which looks like that, and I'd go, hey, wait a minute, I don't want the whole thing. I got to divide that by 2, because I'm only talking about half of it, a hemisphere. And that only covers this area here. Okay. What about this top circle? Well, that's exactly it. I got to include the top circle. So that's pi r squared. So now I've got my total surface area. Got all figured out. All I got to do is put in the numbers. Now, to make my formula a little bit smoother, I'm going to go ahead and divide this 2 into the 4. So actually this looks now like 2 pi times radius squared plus pi r squared. Oh, I guess I could put an actual radius. Okay, let's back that up. And the radius turned out to be 40 centimeters. Well, all I got to do is put in 40 for r. So pretty easy now. All I got to do is take my calculator and throw all the numbers in there, and I get 15,079.64 square centimeters as my total surface area. Alright, so that's the surface area of a hemisphere, total surface area. Now I'm going to do another example of another type of question where we kind of work backwards. So somebody comes along and they tell us the following information. They say it's a sphere and we've got the surface area and we know what it is. So surface area is 6,939.78 square centimeters. And you have to figure out what the radius is. Find r. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our formula for surface area. There's no tweaking it needed because it's not a hemisphere or anything strange, just a regular sphere. And we're going to put in what we know. We know the actual surface area. So let's put in those numbers. And that's all we know. But there's enough there that we can now solve for r. So I think the easiest thing to do, let's first of all figure out what is 4 times pi. Turn that into a nice decimal number. A little bit easier to work with. So to 3 decimal places I got 12.566. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide both sides by this number just to get rid of it. Okay. I'm going to take this guy over here, divide by 12.566, and when I did that I got 552. This is a little bit messy. Let's clean that up a bit. 552.266. And that equals r squared, because these guys have canceled. So to figure out r, all I got to do is square root this number. So on my calculator, I'm going to put in the square root of 552.266. And when I did that, I got 23.5. And the units here, since everything was square centimeters, this length of the radius would be in centimeters. And there you go. That is working with spheres. So that's where I'm going to stop. We will catch you later.